back to Red Devils TV. Now, Manchester United 0, Newcastle 0. What an embarrassing game that was. I'm not even disappointed about it, to be honest. It was an absolute shambles of a game. I expected the game to be like this. I spoke about it in the preview where it wouldn't be a low-scoring game. I didn't think United would win whatsoever. I just thought it'd be a draw, and I was correct. I wasn't correct about the score. I said 1-1, but obviously the end result was 0-0. But it was an absolute shocker of a game. I don't know where I can actually start from that, because game-wise, there was actually nothing there. Like, you can't actually take anything out of that game, strictly speaking. But if you told me that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, Rangnick was the manager, I'd believe you, because the gameplay was boring. It didn't look like Ten Hag football whatsoever. And this was a game that I knew was going to be tough. But the way United played, there was no passion. Like, it made no sense to me whatsoever. And obviously I'm going to get onto the players in a minute. But I want to speak about Newcastle first, because Newcastle, first half, were great on the attack, and that was the plan. They knew what I saw was that Newcastle were attacking United in the first half and trying to get the goal, because they knew that in the second half they couldn't do what they were doing for the first half for the full game, is what they were trying to say. So when the second half came, they knew they were going to have to drop back, and United would be on the more front foot. But United did nothing about it. United sod all. It was awful. And taking Ronaldo off, what was Ten Hag thinking? Like, Newcastle are defending deep. You know you're going to be probably whipping crosses in left and right, and you take Ronaldo off, one of the world's best headers of the ball, what the football world's ever seen. But you bring on Marcus Rashford, who's not even a striker, by the way, who's an absolute pace merchant, and you bring him on. And we all know if Ronaldo was in that spot where Rashford was, that's a goal. And you're looking at Ronaldo coming off, and you're just like, it's embarrassing for him. Like, how is he the only substitution, by the way, coming off when Fred's been shocking? I can't really say anyone else really. Sancho dipped in form as well. Sancho's not been good. Bruno, I don't think wasn't that good either. Bruno was a bit better than how he's recently played, but I really don't think Bruno can play against a low block team. He can't do the link up play. He can't do anything. He seems to be struggling really badly at the moment, and it's awful when it comes to Bruno. But like I said, with that cross right at the end in the last minute, you're taking off Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the world's greatest headers of the ball we've ever seen. Then you've got Marcus Rashford, who's probably headering that ball with his eyes closed, acting like he's underwater, and it just goes out wide. If it was on target and Nick Pope made a save, that's fine. It's a very close end, but it goes out wide, and it's just frustrating. But there's not much you can really go with today. It was very average performances and very poor well, mainly one poor performance, and obviously I'll get onto him in a minute. But I shouldn't be disappointed, but I am, because my team's technically lost, because I don't think drawing it isn't a win. To me, a draw feels like a loss because you haven't won the game, and even though you get 1 point on the tally, that doesn't help you, strictly speaking. I mean, look at the Invincibles all them years ago. Like, Arsenal fans still come in the pants over it, talking about, oh, well, the Invincibles. You drew like 13 games, mate. Shut up. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, I'd honestly rather lose the game than draw the game. That's how I've always thought about football. And a draw just takes it out of you, because you're like, oh yeah, we didn't lose, but we also didn't win. But to me, it feels like a loss. United should have won that game, but for some reason I had a gut feeling that Manchester United would have drew this game, and I was right. I thought it'd be 1-1, but 0-0, and it doesn't matter. It's pretty much the same score. Ronaldo obviously scored, but it was offside. What was it? It was not offside. It was the free kick situation, which was awful. The referee was an absolute joke, by the way. He was an absolute... I can't say the word what I say. But he was an absolute knob, is what I'm trying to say. He was terrible, this referee. He gave so many free kicks and fouls away for Newcastle. When it came to United, who were around the free kick, around the edge of the box area or in the box, no penalty whatsoever. United could have got at least 2 penalties today, but United shouldn't be relying on penalties to win the game. So it's just one of them. But United are looking very short up top, and it's embarrassing, really. But obviously, what can you do? Marcus Rashford was ill. Rashford is ill, as was stated before the match. Martial is injured. So I'll get on to Ten Hag's decisions in a minute, but I just want to say about Fred. Fred is absolutely shite. He couldn't link hands with his girlfriend or wife, whoever he's married, if he's married or whatever. He could not link a pass to anyone. He is absolutely terrible. I don't know how to describe it. He just runs around a lot. That's all he does. We're paying a footballer about 150 grand a week just to run around. He's not a footballer. I want to check his passport. He is not Brazilian. At least a Brazilian knows how to use both feet or knows how to do a skill move. I swear he's from Stoke or something like that. Fred is not Brazilian. He's an absolute fraud. And now he's literally, I don't know how to describe it. He's milking a living. He's just, how he's got to the position where he is, I don't know. And I pray that Ten Hag does not offer Fred a new contract, because his contract is up at the end of the year. Well, end of next season. No, end of this season, so next year. Please, Eric, do not put Fred on a new contract. I don't care if we're going for a rebuild and you need the depth. I do not care. Don't sign Fred on a new contract, because I cannot deal with him anymore. Please, it's frustrating as anything. But it's awful. It's so bad. And it was just average performances today. No, we didn't look like scoring when we had the ball. And the defence were alright today. They didn't have to do much. Varane looked alright, even though he's come back through injury. Martinez still looked sharp. He didn't look any in trouble whatsoever. But what I do want to talk about is that I saw Casemiro drop in between the defenders, and Luke Shaw and Dalot weren't running forward. And there was no link-up play. There was no overlapping fullbacks. There was no tracking back from the wingers. I mean, Sancho did it once in the first half, but apart from that, it's just shocking. And I just don't know what else to say, really. It was just a very poor day at the office. You're probably going to get some tweets from United players later saying we go again and stuff, but like I said, I knew that after watching the Thursday game against Ammonia, when United were in control of that game, I said it, that United are right now more suited to counter-attacking football. We cannot play Ten Hag football. And I don't know if Ten Hag is just adjusting to his players and he isn't playing Ten Hag ball, or he's just giving up completely and because the players aren't good enough. And I honestly think it's the second one, because there's been too many times this season where United have controlled the game, but we've not capitalised it. We've not battered a team 3 or 4-0. United are never going to be able to batter a team 3 or 4-0 at this rate. As long as you have these players who are average constantly, that's their only consistency, is being average. They aren't consistent, they aren't good consistently. They're either consistently poor or consistently average. And Anthony, it was just average today. He didn't do much. None of our forwards did much. And it was just an embarrassment in my eyes. And God, I'm worried about Spurs and Chelsea now, because with Eriksen, with possibly having coronavirus, Donny van der Beek's still injured, Wan-Bissaka's still injured, Harry Maguire's still injured, Twenzebe, Brandon Williams, Martial, the list goes on. It's like, you look at the bench today, right, and it's just pretty much full of youth kids. You've got Heaton, Lindelof, Malacia, then you've got Garnacho, Alanga, Palestra, and Iqbal, and what's his name? The young lad, I can't remember his name. Mono or something like that, whatever his name is. But Ten Hag made only one substitution, which was Ronaldo. I don't care, Eric, because You could have brought them youth kids on, because you can. Like Eric will probably come out in his post match conference in a bit and be like, "Well, when I turned around, all I had was youth, and I just couldn't risk it and bringing them on." Eric, I don't care at this point. If you're seeing the likes of Sancho playing badly, Fred playing shite, and I don't know, pretty much they're the only two, and maybe Bruno. But you see him players playing shite, and you don't bring the youth. At some point, you've got to give the kids a chance. Look at how Rashford's career started off. He came off the bench from the youth setup. Look at Martial. We bought him really young. So at the end of the day, you've got to give him a chance. You can't just make one substitution when we've got another 2 games in the next 6 days. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And Erik ten Hag, I do believe he got it wrong today, 100%, because the starting lineup you couldn't really do much about. Eriksen's obviously got COVID. Rashford was ill, but he just brought him on. But it was just a terrible game, and it's very disappointing. But Erik ten Hag plays the 4-2-3-1. That's how Ten Hag sets up, right? With about 20 minutes to go when you brought Rashford on for Ronaldo, you could have changed your formation. You could have made it a 4-2-4, for example, right? Take off Bruno Fernandes or stick him out on a wing, on the wing, and you could have, let's say, for example, you could have done this. Keep the back line the same. Maybe bring on Malacia for sure, but just for a bit of pace. But you should have took off Fred from half time, because he was like I've said, he's absolutely shite. And Casemiro, again, we've been over Casemiro many times on this channel. He's a player that is world class, but he won't get you headlines. He is a great player, but the things he does, he's just, like I said, won't get you headlines. It's not talked about enough. So it's just one of them. I would have brought on Zidane Iqbal 100% for Fred. Fred was absolutely crap. Garnacho, Alanga, Palestra, bring them on. Bring them on for pace. Them players probably would have been up for it more than Sancho and Rashford. I won't say Anthony, because Anthony is an absolute passion merchant. Anthony loves playing for United, you can tell. But it's just one of them games, which was an absolute... It was just a terrible game and a bad day at the office for United. But I'll do my player ratings now. David De Gea didn't really have to do much, considering it was his 500th appearance for United. So I'll just give him a 6. Dalot, again, didn't do much. 6. Varane and Martinez, I'd give him a 7. They did well when Newcastle will go on the attack, so they did well keeping it stable. Luke Shaw, give a 6. Again, just an average performance. Casemiro, give a 7. I think he did all right. With, like I said, doesn't get you headlines. Casemiro is just one of them players he doesn't stand out to you. Fred, I'm giving a 3. He was absolutely crap. Bruno, I'd give a 6. Another average performance from Bruno. I just don't know what to say about Bruno anymore. He needs to get dropped soon. But again, who can we drop him for? We've got fuck all for rotation. But Anthony, 6.5. He did alright. He got a few shots off and on target and stuff, but again, wasn't much. Sancho, I'd give a 6, just an average performance. Ronaldo scored the goal, but it was obviously the situation happened. So I'd give Ronaldo 6.5 like Anthony. Rashford, give a 6. I just wish Ronaldo was on the edge of that ball. Oh my god. But that's literally all the players. We literally only played 12 players today. Ten Hag, I'll give him a 5. I just think that he should have made changes a lot sooner, and that's all I can go. But yeah, it was just a bad game, bad day at the office. But yeah, 0-0. Obviously David De Gea's 500th appearance for the club. He got his clean sheet, but it's just a disappointing he couldn't get out on a win. But also, one more thing I want to say, we're on 51 subscribers now, so we've reached the goal. Thank you everyone so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Yeah, 50 subscribers in 2 months. I'm just really happy, and hopefully we can get 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Please just keep sharing the name Red Devils TV out there. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. And yeah, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.